Hey Cutco world, this is Cutco Pat coming to you. Hey, I just wanted to shoot a quick little video with a little downtime here at the mall. And a lot of people they call in, they write in, they ask me, like, Patrick, I want to know more about like the small knives. I got a grandma that I need to buy a little paring knife for, or a knife for, or she doesn't like big knives, or maybe my wife doesn't like big knives, or hey, I just want like stuff to get in and out of what I'm doing, and so I want to do a quick little review. So come on down here, let's take a look at all of our paring knife sets. We also got some small knives here, and then we'll have some small knives we talk about down here as well, okay? So let's focus on our paring knives first. So we got 6 of them, believe it or not, all right? You can scroll back up here to me. We'll talk about these knives. So first is your 1720. 1720, the original, the 2 3/4 inch paring knife. Now, we're all guilty of this, of course. We use it on the cutting board. Technically, you're not supposed to use it on the cutting board. This is a knife that you're supposed to do in the air, right? Peel, pare, right? That's what you're supposed to do with this knife. But if you use it on the cutting board, you'll notice if you nick a bone or you nick like something a little tough, you're gonna notice this one go dull a lot faster on you. So I just wanna, as a word of caution. But a little bit about our paring knives in general. What I love about our paring knives, like check out this large handle. You'll notice even with my large hand, you can see that the rivet up here is exposed, rivet down here is still exposed. So you're always in control, you're always safe, which is key when it comes to paring knives. So I'm on a mission. Those Cutco reps are always on a mission. We're on a mission against small, stubby paring knife handles. You'll never get that at Cutco unless you have that old granny from 1960, 1950, and you know who you are, you know what I'm talking about. But all the paring knives these days, they have this beautiful long handle. So that's the 1720, that's the original, that's the OG. The next one I'm actually going to talk about is what we call our bird's beak, right? The bird's beak. This is the beautiful one, man. 3120. This is kind of our best kept secret. You either know about it or you don't. Why I love this knife, we'll take it down here on the cutting board real quick. What I love about this knife, you can see here, you see how this is just like a little slicer, a little chopper, but the only thing that touches the cutting board is this tip here. So naturally, that's the only one that's going to dull, is just a little tip. So this is going to last maybe 2, 3, 4 times longer than most of the paring knives you're probably using. So I love this guy. It's called the 3120. Like I said, little strawberries. And because of this, you got a little more distance too. Now, some of you might be professional chefs, gone through chef school, maybe even just taken a cooking class, and you've heard something called a tourné a potato. And that's where you'll actually take a potato and you'll change it into 6, 8 size, depending on who you are, what you know. Just a little chef's term. If you're a in-home chef, don't worry too much about it, or just a mom that likes to cook. But this is the knife you would use to do that tourné of a potato. But I love this knife because less friction on the cutting board, less dulling on the cutting board. Next one I'll talk about, and I love this one too. This is what we call our 3720, or our 3-inch paring knife, 3-inch gourmet Santoku paring knife. And I love this one because back on the cutting board here, you get a little chopping action with it. And it's got that Santoku style, so you can drop too. Drop that point. And it's almost like a mini chopper is what I call this one. Great for I do jalapeno peppers with this one, green bell pepper. You can use this tip to dig out the seeds out of that pepper when you're doing that. So love this guy. Again, same long handle, which is awesome, but a little mini chopper. You want a little mini chop with your small knife, this would be the one that I would tell you to go for. And then probably one of my faves, and you can actually, by the way, a little shout out to business gifts. These are great business gifts to give. Wives love them. Happy house, happy spouse type of deal. You want to really impress a business client, go kind of in an inadvertent way and impress the wife of the decision maker, the wife of the business partnership, right? This would be the way to go. But you can see it's kind of engraved there. It's kind of fun. But this one's called our 4120, okay? This is what we call our 3-inch gourmet. This just came out about 10 years ago, and I'm so glad they did because I want to compare it to the original, remember? And most people know this one. Most people know this one. Look at the difference. Not too much, right? So 2 3/4, 3-inch, right? But you also see it's a lot bigger. So back to that on the cutting board. This one's hefty. You're not going to worry too much about it when you're using it on the cutting board day. Low drag. Think about fruits, preparation for small coring jobs, apples, things like that. Maybe you have like a bigger fruit, you're getting bigger, some bigger fruits. Keep in mind, by the way, with all your paring knives, you're going to want to stay around this baseball size, but if you do get a little bit beyond that, I know produce these days, like that just happens these days. They're just getting bigger. I got a potato this big in a bag straight from the grocery store about 3 days ago. So that's where you want that bigger paring knife, 3-inch gourmet. That's a 3-inch gourmet. All right, and now let's go to the workhorses of the paring knives. This is a shout out to Mama Moore, by the way, back home. Cutco Mama Moore. This is Cutco Mama Moore's favorite paring knife. So maybe you have old school grandma wants a bigger paring knife. Maybe you got people that do canning, put stuff in jars, do heavy prep work, heavy produce work. You're gonna want a bigger knife, just simply because of the tall task of doing this continuously. It's gonna make your job go down by half, just go quicker when you have a bigger knife. Let's say, hey, maybe you want a steak knife, but you want it to have that straight edge. I have a lot of people that'll buy either of these for steak knives, use them because they like the straight edge on it. So it's got that length. It's got that length enough to look and justify a steak knife if you want to do that. But obviously these are paring knives, stick to using them as a paring knife. This is the original, the 21-24-inch paring knife. This evolved because of this one. See that, right? So we wanted to develop our first one to use on the cutting board and not worry too much about it. That's why we developed their 4-inch. But of course, all paring knives, you want to use them in the air, do your prep jobs, but large prep, right? Quick story back on the farm, back on Mama Moore's farm, right? Big old heap in green beans. This was the knife she would use to do that. Do the apples in the fall time. Make canned apples, canned apple leather. I mean, this was the one. And then last but certainly not least, we came out with an even bigger one. So it's a 4-inch gourmet, same idea, more heft. It's a kind of turbocharged paring knife, right? Paring knife on steroids. You're not going to worry too much about, you know, it going dull on you. It's going to last really long and use it on the cutting board, low drag. Think like large strawberries, apples, things like that. It's a great one. So in review, those are our 6 paring knives right there, all right? And then probably the most popular one that we've ever sold on a single by single basis. This is the 1720 or 1721, the trimmer, right? It's just a good extension of your hand. So think like trimming. That's what it's called. It's called the trimmer. So like chicken, fat off a chicken, steak, good for slicing a tomato or sectioning an orange or a grapefruit. Again, we're right around that 7, like kind of little baseball size, maybe no more than like a softball size with this. I love getting in and doing avocado with this, and do a little scoring with it in my hand if I ever need to, but phenomenal on the cutting board. Nice low drag. You got that tough double D edge. Real quick as an education piece for you, and that's really what this video is for you. I just want to help you to get the most out of your Cutco. Look at the difference in the blades, right? Why would I use this one versus this one? Why would I use this one versus this one, right? Think about what you're going to cut. If it's a little more firm to grip, right? Think about your potatoes, right? You're going to use a straight edge. It's a little more soft to touch, right? Maybe your oranges, right? Your grapefruits, kiwi fruit. You want to have something like this, or a tomato, it's going to smash. You want to have that double D edge or that serrated style edge to nice thin slices so it doesn't rip, smash, or tear. So a couple of differences there and why you would use a straight edge versus our serrated double D. And this one has really gained popularity. This is what we call our Santoku style, 3721. Same idea, right? It's just a perfect extension of your hand. But the folks that have this one love to have this one as well because they use it so often and so much. This is a perfect utility knife, perfect extension of your hand, right? And so if you have this one already, I highly recommend grabbing this one as well. But really it just kind of comes down to preference. You have additional use with the Santoku that it has that drop point so you can drop it, have that low drag there on the cutting board. So, all right, we're good there, all right? And the last, I want to talk about our cheese knives real quick because they really are the last addition to your kind of what I call like small knife package, small knife program, okay? So the first cheese knife, this is the one we came out with back in the day. It has a little gadget grip to it. The holes are there to reduce friction. So think about like potatoes, maybe cheese, things that stick to the knife. Maybe like a cucumber, right? That'll stick always, or a zucchini sometimes, right? Go ahead and grab this knife, or maybe a sausage roll, summer sausage, right? Grab this knife. If you don't have this knife, definitely I highly recommend grabbing it. The holes reduce friction. It's just phenomenal. And so this gained so much popularity that people wanted to start having this in their knife set. And so that's why we went with this one. Put a nice knife handle on it. So those are those two. Just a couple of differences there, but a lot of folks that are maybe a little older in life. I just had a lady 3 months ago at a service event. She bought 4 of these because she loves them so much. The way they fit in their hand, the way it grips, the way it feels in her hand. So that gadget grip's great for my ladies and guys that are getting a little older in life, just have a little something grippy. So maybe grandma needs a gift this year. This would be a great one to give to her, this gadget cheese knife. And of course, you can't go wrong with the traditional style. And then we got 2 more that we just came out with not too long ago. They've been on our line for a while now, but some of you maybe just haven't seen them, haven't heard of them, so I just want to highlight them because they're phenomenal. I'm a big home bartender cocktail guy, so I love my mini cheese knife for that. Think like slicing a lime or a lemon for a little Corona, maybe orange for a old fashioned. I like mixing a little bit if I need to, a little lemonade if I need to, something like that. But also it's great for just throwing on a meat or cheese tray, like our charcuterie trays that we do. Throw that up on there, right? Spread a little brie or cream cheese on the top there, which is nice. So it's a mini version. And if you check this out, David, if you want to help me out here, David here. Check out the difference between the paring knives and the mini cheese. Not much difference, right? It's the same handle. So it's a perfect extension of your hand, just like our paring knives. It'll fit in your hand perfectly. So if you got mom or dad that loves their paring knives, this will be the cheese knife that I would recommend them picking up. Okay, it's called the mini cheese knife, that 2164. So then lastly, little chopper, right? So we came out with a cheese knife that you can do a little chopping with too, which is I love. So I love my stuffed green bell pepper. I always get this knife out when I'm doing that. If I want to just maybe do like, you know, those cheese blocks you'll get that are just kind of small, yay big, great to just chop up a quick little cheese block with if you want to do that. And then lastly, and I kind of highlight these because they could be technically part of it, but maybe they're not. But I just like them because they're really, you know, everybody has a good table knife. It's the #1 seller we've ever sold as a company. Well, actually, we'll sell about 1 million of these every single year. Think about that, 1 million little table knives getting sold every single year at Cutco. They're just the workhorse. So yes, they're for steak, of course. Yes, they're for chicken, but you can honestly use this on the cutting board. Like, look at this. I mean, I can just do little jobs here, trim a little banana or smoothie in the morning. I love kiwi fruit. I'll just grab my little table knife and knock it out. They come with these, which is great, a little sheath to keep it protected. And all of our paring knives do. Actually, everything on here has a little sheath it can come with. This one does too, our traditional cheese knife. So these are the ones you're going to travel with a lot, maybe to like ladies functions or church functions or out with the guys, maybe doing a little, you know, guys day out. You can grab any of this and they'll come with a little travel case. And last but not least, our steak knives. So glad we came out with this. It's like your restaurant style steak knife. So I love these because everybody kind of goes with the truck or the SUV these days. It's kind of the analogy I'll go with this, but it's just like a trimmer on steroids. So I have a lot of wives, a lot of dads, a lot of moms, a lot of families that'll grab this out of their block and use it just like this one. See? Very similar, right? A little more use there for you. So those are steak knives too. And it really just kind of rounds out all our collection, all of our small knives. So, hey, real quick, let's go once more just in review. Come on down here. So we got our 2 3/4 inch paring knife, our bird's beak, right? Our 3-inch Santoku, our 3-inch gourmet, our 4-inch. We have our 4-inch gourmet, and then we have our 1721, the trimmer, the 3721, which is that Santoku trimmer. Then we got our gadget cheese knife down here, mini cheese knife, Santoku cheese knife, the traditional cheese knife with the knife handle. It's one of the best sellers. And of course our table knives and steak knives to round out your kind of small in the hand, perfect extension of your hand knives. So, hey, if you want to have some more questions, you can always text, email me, call me. Hopefully this helps. I'm going to post this up so you guys can see it. I have everything you just saw on special. Of course, there's some really fun stuff here at the mall. I have one little secret knife I won't ever tell you about unless you meet me in person. But we got them in stock here at the mall. But other than that, just come meet me, come talk to me, text me, call me. We're going to hit this 150 for the year before the year's end, and hopefully get to be a part of it. So, hey, Cutco Pat signing out. Talk to you soon. Thanks.